What's up, guys? This is a meta ads targeting tutorial where we're going to be talking about every single thing about meta ads targeting, debunking the myths, talking about what works and why. You're really going to understand exactly when to choose what type of targeting depending on what business you are, what products you're selling, and you're going to be able to carry this on basically from now until the end of time, because Facebook ads targeting is not going to change very much from here. It is just moving more and more automatic. So I'm going to be teaching you how to think about it so you know how to adjust. And if you just watch this video, you don't ever have to watch a targeting tutorial on YouTube again. That is the goal. So smash the like button if that sounds good to you. My name's Derek Videll. Consider subscribing to the channel if you like what you hear today. We're going to go right into a campaign. This was a mock campaign that I was building in a former video. So let's delete this and make it a little bit more simplified. And we're going to go down to this targeting section. Now, when you first come in here, it's going to look more like this. It's going to be with Advantage plus Audience on. What Advantage plus Audience means is that Facebook is really just going to take full control of who to show this ad to. You can put in age, you can put in gender, but it's going to treat everything as a suggestion rather than a rule. The first thing I tell you to do every single time is click on further limit the reach of your ads. You also might be seeing that this says switch to original audience options, or it could change in the future. They are usually making the verbiage sound less and less appealing to click on, although you do want to click on this and then click on switch setup and gain a little bit more of your control. So now from here, I would tell you, let's talk about age to start. You are going to want to go for the low-hanging fruit. If you are just starting an ad campaign, go to the age that is most likely to convert, because if you can't convert with them, then you can't convert with the ages that are going to be harder to convert with. And at the beginning, you're really just trying to either get proof of concept of your product, or you are trying to get proof of concept of your ads. Either way, you're going to want to make the audience as ripe as possible. So for a lot of businesses out there, it's kind of just setting a minimum of either like 30 if it's like homeowner services, 25 if it's a product that you're really looking for orders over $100 consistently, over 21 for everything else, and then 18 if you are able to profitably run to 18. That's great. I mean, you probably have an offer that appeals to that age group, or you're at least creating a marketing angle that is allowing you to reach that lower age segment. But in general, it can be hard to get orders over $100 to 18-year-olds is something that you usually can't rely on. Other than that, I would also put like a cap on the top of it, but it's going to give you this box right here no matter what age range you pick, as long as it's anything less than the 18 to 65 plus. This is used as a suggestion. So as you can guess, this just means, hey, 18 to 54 is what I suggest Facebook. You can show outside of that if you really think it's a good idea. If you know you got a 55-year-old that would be super interested in this, then yeah, that's fine. And this is just going to be left up to your discretion. You basically have a few different ways to do it. You can say, no, this is a rule. 18 to 54, do not show outside of that for any reason at all. And if you are coming into it and you're testing an offer or testing your ads and you're really not sure which way to go and you're trying to just get in front of the lowest hanging fruit, let's say that you're like, all right, I want to do 25 to 45. What I might also suggest you do is go 24 to 46, because I've worked with over 700 different businesses now, and after a few hundred people told me 25 to 45, I realized there's a lot of 24 and 46-year-olds not being advertised to out there. So I would just add a year on either side of it. And then I can say, no, I just really want to get in front of this audience. And then maybe my ads are doing great. And then in order to scale, and I want to get in front of new audiences, I can later just say use as a suggestion, and then I can say, hey, Facebook, I really recommend that you stick within this age group because it's going great, but I will allow you to go outside of it if you think it's a really good idea. That would be a way to like partially scale out to other ages, apart from just, of course, being like, all right, I'm opening it up like 21 to 49 and just kind of opening it up on both sides. What you will do, just to be thorough here, is you can go to breakdown by age, and then if we had data, it would be showing it underneath here, and it would show you different age groups. And let's say that you can see that 25 to 34 is doing a lot better than 45 to 54. That would tell you to open up the age on the younger side of things. Whereas if your older demographic was doing better, you could just open it up on the older side. If it's doing great throughout, then you can open it up on both. But usually when I am opening up age later, it is just to one side. So you're going to have to use your discretion here, but that is how to think about age. Now with gender, this is going to do the same thing, use as a suggestion. And I would tell you you're probably going to do a rule. If you know for sure you basically only have men clients, you can do that to open it up a little bit more, or you can do all. The one thing to know about this is there's a lot of people that don't have their gender listed. So all is the only thing that catches both of them, or of course using as a suggestion. So if you really are not exclusively trying to sell to one gender, it usually is better to open it up. And it's always going to know, if you're in an industry that is male dominated, it's going to show to way more males anyways, even if you have it set to all. It's not going to just split it down the middle. It's just not going to exclude them. So getting to the fun part. Should we do open targeting? Should you do interest-based targeting, like selecting one? Here's exactly how to think about it. Open targeting is almost always going to win. Nowadays, though, we can do what I like to call suggestive open targeting because of that option. So for instance, I'm just going to stick with what I had here before. If we are trying to sell to the yoga market, I can just put in yoga and see how it says your suggestion when I zoom out here. For some of you, it's going to give you the option. It's going to give you the checkbox to turn it off or not. And then for others of you, and this could vary per ad account, it's going to look like what mine is right now, where I don't even have a choice. It's going to be a suggestion either way. And I like suggestive open targeting, as I like to call it, when your ads are just starting out, especially if it's a brand new ad account. If I'm like, I just came out this brand new yoga product, I'm going to put this in. I'm going to put yoga in because I know it's actually just going to do open targeting either way. It is treating yoga as a suggestion rather than a rule. And we all know that the phase that we were just in is that it is so much better, like 99% of the time, if you were selling yoga products, to just put nothing. Leave it open targeting rather than run to the interest of yoga as a rule. Open targeting is almost always going to win. For just the sake of getting Facebook, getting in front of the right audience right from the beginning, though, I do like suggestive open targeting. Now, the one time that I have seen layered targeting still be better is for a true double niche business. So for instance, I worked with a company that was selling anime pickleball paddles. All right. So this was reliant on them finding clients that liked pickleball and anime. For them, it actually did perform better when we did anime, and then we did define further, and then we did pickleball. And it was still doing suggestive open targeting with that. But this is when I found it really does help out, okay? If you are selling to a sub-niche or a double sub-niche, then you can do this define further. It still is going to show it outside of that as it sees fit, but now it knows that, hey, they need to have both of these totally unrelated interests, and that's a piece of information that the algorithm can take a little bit too long to figure out on its own, so this is a great time to do it. Another client that I have that his interest targeting actually does perform better is someone who's selling a very niche product in the music space, and he's selling a software that goes with a certain type of amp. Okay, it's like a certain guitar amp that he sells a software for. And that guitar amp is a detailed targeting option. And that actually does perform better than our pure open targeting or lookalike audiences, is this very specific niche. If you are selling to a very specific niche and that interest exactly as it is exists, you should also put it in. For most of you, Putting nothing is completely acceptable, will get you great results, and you don't ever have to worry about targeting again. You don't have to just always be like testing new ad sets. For those of you that are newer to Facebook ads, what we used to have to do is like yoga instructing. Like we had to just try like 10 different ad sets of all of these single interests so we could figure out which interests were good, and then we would layer those interests after, and then we'd create a lookalike audience out of the purchases. So let me talk about also these other strategies, right? Custom audiences and lookalike audiences. When a custom audience would be really, really great to do is if you're looking for a very specific audience that would be that you can get exact data on from around the web somehow. So I know that's a mouthful, but for instance, if I want to run ads to business owners to ask if they want me to run their Facebook ads for them or teach them how to run Facebook ads, the way that I could go about it, I could just run ads and I could just leave it open, right? And I could just write a caption that says, "Hey entrepreneurs, are you looking for help with your Facebook ads?" I can write a clear as day caption. I do need to mention real quick, in order for open targeting to work, you do have to write a clear as day caption where Facebook can easily read it and know who you're selling to and what you're selling, all right? That is actually very important in order for open targeting to work. But other than that, I could put in like small business owner and that would work as well. But if I want to get really specific, something I can do is use a list scraper. So I could have someone go online and get me emails of Shopify store owners that are doing over $10,000 a month in sales, and then get all of their names, emails, and phone numbers, and then import that list into Facebook and then run ads to that list. That would be an example of a time that running to a custom audience or a custom list could be a very, very useful thing to do. So I was able to do this in the past when I was running ads to wedding photographers, because even though a lot of times you can put in like, yeah, wedding photographer as a career, a lot of people have not listed, like, there's apparently only 6,000 wedding photographers that have that as their job title, and then another 6,000 for wedding photography. There's way more than 12,000 wedding photographers in the world, but that's how many Facebook knows about. So targeting by job title is very ineffective in here for the most part, at least being able to like put in job title. But LinkedIn is where a lot of people have updated their work. So you could use a LinkedIn list scraper, which you can find on Fiverr, and then put in very specific filters and queries for them to go out and get a list. And then you can upload that list, create new custom audience, customer list, and you can upload that list right here and put in their name, email, phone number are the key pieces of the information that it wants. Anything beyond that, city, state, zip code is a bonus. But if you have name, email, phone number, you're doing great. It's going to go out and it's going to match that to other Facebook accounts, and then you're going to be able to run ads directly to them. That is one other example of a very targeted list. Lookalike audiences, or a 1% lookalike of purchasers, which was like the cream of the crop back in the day for who to run ads to. I have not seen a lookalike audience beat open targeting in at least 2 years. I wouldn't even try it. I wouldn't worry about it, which is great because it really gave big businesses an advantage before to be able to upload all of those purchases and do a lookalike, and it was a great way to run ads. That was almost always the number one performing ad set in the past. Luckily, though, you don't have to do it. The algorithm's going to crush it right away. And that's why running Facebook ads right now is as good as it's ever been. These last 2 years have really been the golden ages for Facebook ads because the targeting is mostly done for you. And if you have a great product, it's going to work out. People buy on Facebook and Instagram. They're totally used to it. Everything about them is known to the apps. Their buying tendencies, the algorithm is hyper targeted at this point. If you can't make it work within the first $200 to $400 of ad spend, if you can't see some traction, a new client, some qualified leads that you've at least talked to, or some sales if you're in e-commerce from that first 200 to 400 bucks, you can basically already scrap the idea or know that you've got some big problem that you got to fix. You got a price problem or just like a entirely different product that you need to be selling, but you can know that it did get in front of the right people at the right time, even if you didn't do all this fancy targeting stuff that we had to do back in the day. That is it to meta ads targeting. I hope you enjoyed this video, and you can check out plenty more on my channel. You can also book a free call with me below. I do done with you and done for you Facebook ads, so I can either teach you how to run your own profitable Facebook ads yourself, which I recommend to anyone who has the time and the willpower to do so. You should learn how to do your own ads. Otherwise, if you're cramped on time, you need a professional to just do everything for you. I do performance-based, commission-only, done-for-you ads. You have to be at a certain level to qualify. Either way, book a free call with me below, and we will talk. See you then.